Hey, fuel is now 617 naira. Hey, paripa o. Ho ho. Someone said it's 700 in Onipanu. Onipanu is a state on its own. It's not part of Lagos. You know, hear the name? Onipanu. Now, Panu that they get for that side. Hey. But you see, I'm here to have a conversation with you because the amount of ignorance on the streets of Nigeria is alarming. In as much as we're all suffering, we cannot blame Tinubu, President Tinubu, for this. We need to understand. Let me try to explain. You see, I learned from the COVID-19 saga. Someone said you supported them. I never supported them, not even for 1 hour. I supported Shore. Someone said it's the dollar rate, whether it's the dollar rate or not. You see, here are my thoughts. And I want us to have this conversation. Nigeria is not a rich nation. If we were rich, why are we borrowing $800 million? If we were rich, why? Nigeria, we need to understand this. Nigeria is someone said Buhari will be missed. That's a very ignorant statement you made. Extremely ignorant. Nigeria is a very poor nation right now. Do you know what makes a nation rich? Exports. Kindly remind me, what are we exporting again? What are we exporting again? Let's talk. Let's be honest. You don't have to agree with me. So Nigeria is rich. No, Nigeria is rich in mineral resources. The mineral resources, how well has the government utilized the mineral deposits that we have? What are we exporting? China is exporting this bottle, is exporting this cover, is exporting this face cap. Even your LV is made in China to an extent. The only thing we are exporting in Nigeria is religion. How do you expect us to be wealthy? This is a conversation we need to have. We are exporting religion, nothing else. Aside from the only thing of world class that we are exporting is music. That's the only thing Nigeria is contributing to the world that right now is on the level of anything else. If you have any argument, please place your point. Please place your point. Sorry, the light never goes for long. Yesterday we had an issue. Talk to me. Apart from music, everything else in Nigeria is either mediocre or even below average. Look at our auto industry. Our sports very weak. What sports are we? The only sport in Nigeria is football. Don't worry, they'll bring the light back in less than a minute. Let's talk. Everything is imported. You see, the dollar does not matter to a Chinese man if he's up or down. You know why? Because they produce and they export. So the higher the dollar goes, the sweeter the belly of the Chinese man. You don't get it. Imagine I produce a car. Let's imagine Nigeria has Innoson, and the world right now is raving about Innoson motors. And we are producing on a weak naira, but selling. I told you less than 1 minute, electricity will come. But we produce this Innoson on a weak naira, but we sell it to America on a strong dollar. we are going to be smiling because we are producing the car locally on naira, but as the dollar is going up, they are paying us that dollar. That high dollar is what they are paying. So the dollar is coming into the economy as so much naira, so we can produce more and sell and get more dollars. Explain to me in what context this favors Nigeria when your slippers is imported. What is Nigeria producing right now that is of export quality and quantity when we are importing palm oil? Someone says, first of all, we gotta consume the cars produced in Nigeria. I'll tell you that's a problem. Go and ask how much an Innoson car is. And I'm in no way running Innoson down. The truth is just never very palatable. If you're watching on TikTok, please double click the screen. Double click that screen. I'm looking for my number 1 and my number 2 gifter. Big shout out to my number 1 and my number 2 gifter. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. I'm also looking for my money guns. Gideon's my number 1 gifter. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm looking for my number 1 and my number 2 gifter. So let's talk about Innoson Motors, for instance, and why it is struggling. Let's talk about this. A brand new Innoson, forget about it. I don't know anybody who's going to buy a used Innoson. A brand new Innoson costs around 20 million naira. About 10 to 20 million naira. Do you know you can get a Lexus for between that price? Let me give you an example. I bought my Toyota Camry brand new in 2009. I still drive it till today. The AC has never given issues. This is 2009 to 2019 is 10 years. 20, 21, 22, 23. 14 years. I've had that car for 14 years. And I've never done anything major. I've not changed the engine. I've not changed the gearbox. Apart from brake pad, tire, consumables, fan belt. I've not even changed the fuel pump. So let's forget the problem of the nation is the leaders. Now let's look at what we are producing. Would you rather buy an Innoson over a Toyota that will serve you for 14 years? Or if you have 20 million naira, let's talk. Let's be honest. I'm not running them down, but I'm asking you, if you have 20 million. Someone said you have others to drive now. The other ones are fancy cars I drive to when I'm going to hang out. Any day I'm going somewhere rough, just know it's that Toyota. And with the flog gam. You can't do that to an Innoson and it will still be alive. The beating you can give a Toyota, you can never give an Innoson. You can't even give GSC. I have GSC too. This one says, what are you even saying? I'm saying something your daft father at home cannot understand. And since you are a carbon copy of a foolish parent, you will continue being a representation of that parent. You are too dumb to get it. If people were buying, let's stop the hypocrisy. If you people were patronizing Innoson, we'll be seeing more Innoson on the road. Let's be honest. If you were patronizing Innoson, you will be seeing more Innoson on the road. And this is not against Innoson. This is because Innoson still has to produce, and Innoson cars are not cheap. A 10-year-old Toyota Camry is cheap. Look at Uber now. The most cars they use for Uber. Why? Toyota Corolla. Have you ever asked yourself why? Instead of fighting me, someone said, but other countries are using it well. Which other countries? Please, when we are talking of Ghana and Togo, those are not other countries. Ghana does not operate dollar. Until you start selling something to the dollar, you are not selling. If you like, sell to Cotonou and sell to Cote d'Ivoire. Until you start selling to Canada, Germany, UK, US, you have not started selling. Any income that is not in hard currency is pounds, dollars, or euro. Any income that is not in hard currency is not an income. Now you have two options. You have the Toyota that is durable, and you have the China that is cheap. Innoson is neither durable like Toyota nor cheap like China. I'm not blaming them. I'm not saying the products are not good, but ask yourself. I can GLE, the old model of my Mercedes, the 43 GLE AMG 43. If you drive from my house to VI and back, you will count 40 on the road. You will struggle to, and that car now is like 40 something million. I'm talking about the 2016, 2017, like 40, 45 million. You will count at least 40 on Lekki from, if you go from Jakonde to Lekki Phase 1, inside Lekki Phase 1 and come back. If you see two Innoson, clap for yourself. Why are people not patronizing this brand? Because it's neither, it doesn't have, when you want to buy something as expensive as a car, you will ask your mechanic, Oga Meko, where to make I buy? I have not seen the mechanic that will tell you buy Innoson. I have not seen the mechanic that will tell you buy Innoson. I have not seen. Mechanic will tell you buy Toyota. Now, have you ever been inside an Innoson car before? Have you ever sat down to compare it with a 10-year-old Hyundai or Toyota? Do you know how cheap those cars coming from abroad at $1,000, $2,000? As in, a 10-year-old Hyundai that is clean will come into Nigeria at $1,800, $2,000, then shipping another maybe $1,000. So it has landed in Nigeria at $3,000. Let's say you clear it with maybe $2,000, $5,000, you don't get motor. How much is $5,000? $5,000 times 800, 4 million naira. 5,000 times 803, 4,015,000 naira. Someone says Innoson trucks are not bad. If you have money for truck and you are looking at Mercedes, you are looking at Prado, you are looking at Hilux, the likelihood that you buy Innoson is not high. It pronounced Hyundai. Thank you very much. I've had a meeting with them before. The people that brought it, they said it's Hyundai. Stallion Motors. When I was in Cool FM, I used to be in charge of their account. And I asked them one day, I said, what's the name of this car? They said it's Hyundai. Americans call it Hyundai. It's not an American product. The people that brought it use their mouth to say it's Hyundai. Let me tell you, fine, sometimes at the end of the day, people will change a brand's perception and identity. Like Milo. Milo abroad is Milo. But you never hear them do Milo. Milo. No. They will call it what we know it. Milo. Milo. So when they call it Hyundai, it's because they are calling it for the Americans. They say that, okay, the Americans like to call it Hyundai. Okay, we call it with them. The car BMW is not BMW. It's BMW. Ask anybody. It's German. BMW. That's what it is. But they call it BMW, and the BMW people to say, okay, our car too is BMW because you call it BMW. Meanwhile, when we are producing it, we're producing it as BMW. So, Innoson would do so much better if the government gave them more imports, ability to import. Listen, if the government said, you know what, Innoson, anything you are importing, duty free. That is one thing I love to see Tinubu do. Anything you are importing, duty free. Tax free. Anything Innoson is doing in Nigeria from now on, tax-free. So they remove import duties for any part, as long as it's Innoson and is labeled and they've gone to sign that we are bringing in this part, duty-free, tax-free. Why? So that when they produce cheaply, they can sell it cheap and make only marginal profit. That way they can enter the market and fight Chinese. Innoson cannot go against Toyota. It's impossible. Forget Benz. Person that wants to buy Benz knows what he wants to buy inside the car. Person that wants to buy Benz knows what he's looking for. You cannot compare the safety, the crumple zones of a Benz to what you have from an Innoson. So if Benz is not in the league, let's leave Benz. Benz is aspirational. You don't want to go from, Benz is not, I want to move, I want to commute. Benz is, I have arrived, I want to feel cool as I commute. I used to have an ML 350. One day, and nothing to the motor. One day, I just want to say the gas leak. I buy gas, pump am, the gas no work. I call AC repair. Motorway, I'm talking of 2 years ago. The guy just look and say, hey, your bill is 180,000. If you never chop belle full, you know fit use Benz. Paris Abu says this topic you are talking is an epic fail talk. If I curse you now, it will be like say, are they throw stone to your papa because nine you resemble with this lack of sense. Epic fail talk how? I challenge you to challenge me, were olori buruku. Are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me that Innoson can compete with Benz? As in, you are really saying it. Let me tell you, cars in Benz category: Lexus, BMW, Porsche, Jaguar. Land Rover is a little bit higher. That is why that's why Benz cannot compete with Rolls-Royce. For Benz to compete with Rolls-Royce, they have to do Maybach. You have Maybach, Rolls-Royce, Bentley. When it comes to exotic cars, you have Ferrari, Lamborghini. Then you have the lower brands that are still strong. Audi, Mercedes-Benz level. You cannot compare Toyota to Audi. It's madness. How? They are not mates. Audi no be Toyota mates. The same way Toyota na Toyota, Honda, Mazda. Then after them is Kia, Hyundai, and all those, that other level. That level is the level Innoson needs to get into. Romania, my mother's country, has a car called Dacia. You will never go and carry Dacia and compare Benz when it's not that you don't smoke colos. Innoson should strive to be in the Chinese league. Maruti, GAC, what do they call them? Jack. That is the brand. Now, what is Benz? BMW, Range Rover, aspiration. What is Toyota? Reliability. What is Kia? Affordable reliability. Doesn't have the brand presence of a Toyota, is affordable. What is GAC and Jack and Maruti? Cheap price. Innoson cannot jump and go and face Toyota when it has not conquered GAC. Let me tell you, Hyundai has a luxury car called Genesis. They don't call it the Hyundai Genesis, so it's just Genesis. Because the Genesis is striving to enter into the Lexus, Mercedes, Audi market. Lexus is on the level of Mercedes-Benz, or they are trying to be on the level of Mercedes-Benz. Mazda is on the level of Tata, Naimbi Innoson. So what am I saying is, When you go to buy a Mercedes, you buy aspiration. When you go to buy a Toyota, you buy reliability. When you go to buy a Hyundai, you buy cheap reliability. When you go to buy a Tata, you go and buy a cheap car that will move you from one place to the other. Now, when an Innoson is priced like a Hyundai, then you have a problem. Now, am I blaming Innoson for that pricing? Absolutely not. I'm blaming the government. The government needs to give them import duty waivers, complete tax waivers, as in Innoson should pay zero tax. Volkswagen is on the level of Toyota. Zero tax. So they can concentrate their money instead of paying land tax today, paying area boy tax tomorrow, paying government tax they will close their factory next tomorrow. That money that they are using to pay all this tax should be pumped into production, should be pumped into research and development, and should be pumped into making affordable cars available. Somebody is saying government should start using Innoson car. You want your president to be driving down the road in a car that is not of global safety standards? Really? Innoson should not aim at presidential fleet. Every Uber in Nigeria should be Innoson. That's where they should start from. 20 years from now, when they build their brand presence, they can introduce the Innoson Luxury, where they put cow leather from Egypt, Alcantara from Japan. By then, they have enough money to build a luxury brand. There's no luxury right now. Every Uber is like you go to Ibadan, every taxi is Nissan Micra. Innoson should own that market. The taxi in Ibadan, all Innoson. That's what Romania did with Dacia. Go to Romania, every cheap car on the road is their Dacia. They are not competing with Benz. But they can't do this when their cars are priced out of that range, and GSC that is imported is a little cheaper or around the same price. So what am I trying to say is the government needs to give rebates, tax reliefs, import zero. In fact, government should subsidize Innoson imports. If government can, for everything they import, they give them 2%, 3%, just to encourage them to build more cars, so that over a period they become an indigenous brand. Now, as they are growing, they are getting better. We start selling to neighboring nations. We are not yet making that money we are looking for. That money comes when we can supply America with cheap cars, affordable cars. You walk into a car shop as a student and you can walk out with a $9,000 car that has everything you need. Then Innoson begins to make money for Nigeria. So when you are saying, let's go back to our original point. What are we exporting? We are importing palm oil. So until we're able, and when we say export, taking something to Ghana no be export to. Until you start selling to the Western world and making US dollar profit. All police trucks should be Innoson. Hondas, all taxis. Let me tell you, the normal man, the likelihood that he will count his money and go and buy Innoson, forget all this, is our car, we are proud of our car. If it's your car, why are you driving Toyota? Why? Because deep down in your heart, you know you want the reliability of Toyota. Just because Honda they do yawo, you know it's in yawo, the tire go come for front, come out. People stop buying Honda. When I was growing up, Honda and Toyota were almost on par. Honda they dragged the market with Toyota. Now Honda they struggle to keep up with Kia for this Nigeria. All of you saying you will buy. If that's how you've been buying, All of you that say you buy your own cars, why don't you have Innocent? The people that are watching me on this live, 800 people on Facebook, 233 on YouTube, 900 on Instagram, and 256 on TikTok. I can guarantee you that none of you have an Innocent car. So let's stop the hypocrisy. None of you have an Innocent car. If all of you that are buying cars for your parents, how many of you have bought Innocent? How many of you have bought? Let's be honest now. We have 2,000 people. What is 2,000? We have like 2,500 people watching me live. Inside 2,500 people, raise your hand if you have Innocent car and show me the picture. None. If I say how many people have Toyota, you will be amazed that 1,800 out of the 2,000 have Toyota. Don't say I have. Show me the picture. Show me the car particulars with your name on it. You want to go take picture of Innocent within your compound. Those of you within Nigeria, show me the picture. Somebody correct me, say Toyota na 2,000 out of 2005. If you're watching on TikTok, please double click my screen or double click my screen. Gideon is my number one gifter. And my number two gifter is Awkward Lucy. I'm looking for my number one gifter. I'm going to follow my number one gifter when I'm done. And Gideon just sent me a money gun too. Double click my screen, please. Now, let's talk about the fuel prices. I am feeling it. It is painful. But what could we have done better? Let me tell you something. Somebody said Peter Obi patronized him. Innocent does not need patronage right now. He needs tax cuts. How many people can buy? Okay, Peter Obi goes to buy 100 cars. What's that? He needs tax cuts. He needs duty waivers. He doesn't need you to buy his car. When his car is cheap, you will buy it. They will not tell you. Only you will go there and buy it by yourself. He does not need you to patronize him because he's expensive. What he needs is the government to do waivers, any subsidy, anything the government can do. Pump money inside the factory. Give them 24 hours power. Let other people in the village not have power. Let Innocent have 24 hours. And tell them you must produce this amount of cars every month. And this is the benchmark of your price. That's what they need. You tell me 10 people go and buy one Innocent. This does nothing. They need incentives. They need interest-free loans. The government needs to talk to investors. Please, we have Innocent. Please, can you invest $50 million into Innocent? And over a 10-year period? Okay, Bongoli is correcting me. Power is private. Yes, the government might not do, but government can do import subsidy. Import duty subsidy. In fact, import duty total waivers. Total tax waivers. As in zero tax. Then, with the promise that 15 years from now, they start paying tax. So, Innocent has 15 years to be productive. They need investors. Government, but you see, the government is already poor. So, the government cannot invest. But the government should help them get all these Zuckerberg, all these people that have billions. Let the government help them rally $50 million. So let me now go back to where I was. What started this fuel? Because right now everybody in Nigeria is upset. Oh my goodness, the fuel is this. Oh, they want to kill us with the fuel. Blah 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 blah. And I share your pain. When fuel was $4.90, I went to fill the tank of my car. I spent $30,000 for the what's the car called? Camry. $30,000. Now the fuel is 617 naira. What does that mean? It means that $30,000 na $35,000 or $38,000 now for spend now. It's not fun. And when people are hungry, people are angry. And when people are angry, the problem is they are close to scattering everywhere. Now, let us discuss this fuel issue. In as much as I did not support Tinubu when he was going in as much as I've never been APC or PDP for that matter, and if they've ever given me 1 naira, any of them 1 naira, they should come and say where they gave it to me. The only place, and it was all players could play, was my Star Wars. APC played, PDP played, Labour Party played. So whatever was my party did not play, but everybody else played. What am I trying to say? I've never given one party an advantage over the other. Never. I have never given any party, even Labour. At a point, I was Labour Party, but after that, I said, you know what? I'm going to be neutral. Nina Okonkwo said he supported. It's like you have lost your senses. It's like you are quarter to living under a bridge, packing paper on the floor, and walking around in your pant and bra in the market. I think you have gotten to that. You've gotten to that level now. I supported who? Please use your brain. Oh. Can you imagine? Some coconut head has been calling me. Someone said, I supported. Let me tell you how dumb you are. You know why you think I supported? Because I did not support Peter Obi. Now, this fuel at 617 naira a liter is not Tinubu's fault. It is not his. How do you people need to sit down and understand that it is not his fault? What do you expect him to do? The outgoing government did not have 1 naira budgeted for fuel subsidy for the month of June. 1 naira. So what do you expect Tinubu to do? To sell his land to pay subsidy? Let's even imagine he is gracious and magnanimous enough to come and sell his land. I think I'm having issues on, no audio on Facebook. Oh no. Sorry, no audio on Facebook because the call tried to come in. This is so annoying. And you go notice that person are weary. I don't know what thing they find. You know what? I'll close Facebook and come back. Please forgive me, guys. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Double click the screen. I'm closing Facebook and I'm coming back. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Now, person decide say in one can scatter everything for me. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, guys. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Double click the screen. Sorry, I'm trying to set. A call came in from somebody that doesn't have enough money in one borrow, really. So let us talk, and let us start using our sense. Somebody said, we all know Tinubu is Buhari Pro Max. That is you sounding very ignorant, my dear brother. That is you sounding very ignorant. Let's talk. It's not his fault. How is it his fault? Explain to me, how is the fuel crisis his fault? What would he have done? What would Peter Obi have done? Or Atiku? Let me tell you, if they paid the subsidy for this whole year, and he took office in June, and then could not fix it before he removed it in January next year, then it's his fault. As they were handing the country over to him, they were handing the country over to him with 0 subsidy for the month of June. What did you want him to do? Explain the magic that you're from a country that is poor. explain the magic that you wanted him to do. That's all. I need somebody to come and explain how it is Tinubu's fault. Sentiment. No, they let una. Someone said, let Peter Obi enter first. Okay, I say no enter. And if he had entered, there's nothing he would have done. What will he do? Sell the whole of Anambra State? Waiting for do. Waiting in for do. That's the question I want to answer it. Answer it. If you want to be obedient fan, answer him inside the comment section. Answer him. Say he would have used this to replace fuel subsidy. I want to hear what he would have done. All of you that are saying Tinubu's fault, what you have done better? Someone said the country is never poor. You are just ignorant. That's it. How do you deal with this? How? I'm not making excuses for him. It's not an excuse. You know what an excuse is? He's at fault. I'm covering it for him. That's not an excuse. When they handed the country over to him, there was zero allocation for subsidy. Let me tell you, I don't agree with the deregulation of the dollar. That I believe could have waited. Personally, I believe that could have waited. But this fuel subsidy, there was no that he could have done. Unless he was willing to start selling his property to pay subsidy. Cut costs in the government. So as you enter now, you are going to begin cutting. For you to cut costs in government, they have to send you, okay, we are cutting this. It will take at least a month or two for you to cut the cost in government. So while you are cutting the cost in government, how do you supply the fuel at 187 naira? How? I want to see the magic. You all are economists and statisticians and magicians. Where was it? Someone said he could have subsidized fuel prices. Let me tell you what I believe he should not have done. And to have this debate, I'm going to bring an obedient and a Tinubu supporter. Let them discuss for 10 minutes and explain to us what Obi would have done differently and what Tinubu. I will bring Bongoli and I'll bring. So, you see, let me tell you, if I were Tinubu's camp, I would not have advised the dollar deregulation because you can't do two things at the same time. The dollar was important but not urgent. The dollar could have waited. It was very important too, but not. What was urgent was the fuel. That was urgent. It's like I have 10 staff and I say I can no longer pay salary for 10 people. I can only afford 3 people. Sack 7 people. I tell Buki Shote, my manager, Buki, sack 7 people. If Buki does not sack 7 people, I will send her the salary of 3 people. How is she now going to cut it? Someone says increase the minimum wage. You have not paid subsidy. You want to increase minimum. As in, are you people on this planet at all? I think going to church too much messes with you people's head. Right now, Nigeria does not have anything to put in. What they can just do is remove. That's why I said for people like Innocent, they can remove duty. They can remove taxes. But they cannot give anything because they don't have. They don't have. So I say if you bring Bongoli, the reason why I cannot bring John is because John insulted some women on my platform. I love John. John is my guy. But until if John is willing to apologize to those ladies now, I will bring him today. But I cannot bring John when women that started Free Nation with me 7 years ago, John calls one of them, cursing Pekin. That one I cannot do. So tell John that if he's willing to publicly apologize today to them, I will bring him so he can face off with Bongoli and let them discuss it. But if not, John, we have enough. Don't you, with all the obedience out there, don't you have anybody brilliant enough to go against Bongoli? Come on. I cannot lose all my women that were my day ones. And what John said about that girl's child is plenty. When they played the audio to me, when he sent me the audio, I could not, it's much. But do I respect John? Yes. Is he brilliant? Yes. Do I love him? Yes. Is he my guy? Yes. 24 hours a day is my guy. But until, that's why I said any day he apologizes, he's free to come. But if John isn't here, don't we have anybody? As I don't explain to you, if you say you want John, I go come block you, because I don't realize, say, that block, now like the block where your head be, nothing fi enter. Yes. I have forgiven John, but it's not me. He has to, you see, you cannot, there are some things you can't say to women and children. You can't. So I don't want to bring Bongoli alone, because I don't want this to be an APC court. I want there to be someone, and the topic is, what will Peter Obi have done, or what will Atiku have done? And Bongoli will be here, and I'm also going to judge. Let's discuss. If you're watching on YouTube and you want me to read your comments, remember, send your comments with super chats or super stickers. I will not read comments that don't have super chats or super stickers. And if you're watching on Facebook, I would love you to bring, I would love you to buy my stars and then ask your questions. If you're watching on TikTok, Gideon is my #1 gifter. Big shout out to Gideon. Please follow Gideon right now. Please follow Gideon right now on TikTok. Double click the screen. Right now, I don't want to. Femi for PDP. God bless you. Guys, where is Femi and where is Bongoli? Where is Femi and where is Bongoli? Somebody say blogger, beggar. Does it? You see, the problem is you are so dense, and it's not your fault. When your father was picking cowrie shells at the beach, and the mermaid beckoned to him and slapped him and told him to go and buy Yawiresun so that they can give birth to you, you did not know any better. How does buy my stars? How does that sound like begging? You know what begging is? Please, I beg you, buy my stars. Buy my star. Simple. I'm bringing Soso Sobereko. And I'm bringing Bongoli. And I'm waiting for any well-informed. Hey, Bongo, why am I not? Hey, your tea is not working, no Bongoli. Soso has joined. Bongoli too has joined.
Hello, Daddy Freeze. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good
Bongoli,
evening, Nigeria.
how are you doing? Soso Sobereko.
Daddy Freeze, I am Daddy Freeze.
How far? We won't see your face now, Bongoli. This is not serious matter.
Daddy Freeze, I would. If you want to see my face, maybe we'll do it maybe later in the night.
Okay, but real quick. Wait a little. Let me hear from Soso. Soso, what do you think? In my humble opinion, there is nothing Tinubu could have done to avert the fuel issues that we have. I personally believe he should have left the dollar, told these people don't deregulate the dollar, let that one continue, because that one we can still manage it maybe to the end of the year until we stabilize the fuel prices. But this fuel, I personally believe there is nothing humanly possible that he could have done to avert taking over a government from another ruler without $1 subsidy inside. So let's hear you.
Okay, basically, Tinubu's decision, I think I'll commend him for his courage to be able to decide what others have been beating around the bush about. First of all, Buhari's government lied and deceived us. They told us they removed subsidy like 4 times. Why they never did? That is why I can commend Tinubu, because Tinubu came all out and said he is taking up subsidy, and openly he did that. I don't know if you remember that when Buhari government came, they said they're taking subsidy. They increased fuel from a particular amount to 100 and something, that they remove subsidy. All of a sudden, they were still paying subsidy. The country is very difficult right now for everybody, including the rich.
Extremely difficult.
But I think what Tinubu needs to do, the same courage he used to increase, to remove the subsidy, he should use that same courage to arrest some set of selfish people. Because the problem we have in this country are some set of people milking the country. This price increase today is this set of people that are benefiting from it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
100%.
There are few people. They are not up to 1,000 people making this country so difficult. Those same people are the people that finance politicians for their election. You understand? These same people. Now, when he made the dollar same rate, I liked it, because there were a set of few people, this same few amount of cabal benefiting from it. Few people. Now, there are some people that have called me several times that if I want to buy dollar there was 700. They say they have CBN rate. They'll sell it for me for 500 and something naira.
Now, we want travel. We know we can't get the dollar. The government was subsidizing dollar for us.
That's what I'm saying.
So anytime you want to travel, there was a time I missed my flight because I was at Zenith Bank trying to get my, there's a name they call it. It's not Estaco. There's a name they call it. They did not give me my allocation. They did not give me. But I'm sure one chairman somewhere don't collect.
Do you know that that's the truth.
PTA, God bless you, John. PTA
of opportunity to buy dollar. No, okay, you're talking of PTA. No, not that. I'm not talking of this. I'm talking of people who have access to either whatever contact they have in CBN to get dollar. Now, don't forget the BDC people that have license are entitled to $100,000 only. But people have licenses. Normally, it's supposed to be one person per license. But people have like 20 to 100 licenses to be getting $100,000 each from CBN. So when Tinubu said he's making that rate
he killed rate, that business. Now I understand.
He killed it.
So now it's no more government rate again.
Yes, so everybody, both the rich, the poor.
So I don't know, say you get brain like this. Now music, I think, say you sabi produce.
I'm a businessman, okay?
Hey.
So everybody, they buy dollar, the same rate, which was a wise decision. Although it's hasty.
It's hasty. That's what I said. It's hasty.
Yes,
but it's wise.
It's hasty because everybody, they suffer around. It was a good decision. But now, I don't speak for politicians but there are policies that takes time. There are a lot of policies that take a lot of time. You have to feel the pain before it gets better. But because of other politicians, we don't lose hope. Nigerians are not patient again for it to get bad, to get better. Because Nigeria, once it get bad, it get worse. Most of these decisions taken now are supposed to get better later. But what I can advise Tinubu without sentiment, without party affiliation, without anything, Tinubu need to stand his ground to arrest some set of Nigerians suffering, all of us. Why we go just wake up, fuel from the so-called amount where they manage that they cry to buy don't go up to 700 and something. No, people need to answer questions. People need to get arrested. You understand? Do you know that this can lead to anarchy? This can lead to civil unrest. People need to answer questions. How fuel from a particular amount add 100 and something naira? Who is regularizing the price? There should be a body answerable. There should be people answerable to this. That is my own take. The same stand he took to make the decision, he's supposed to stand that ground to arrest some set of people because few people they benefit. You see, in business, 1 naira can lead to 1 billion in profit. So these guys don't add 1 naira, they add hundreds of naira. So it equals to hundreds of billions. Because these fuel stuffs are in liters, millions, hundreds of millions of liters. Tinubu need to arrest a lot of people without fear or favor, without sentiment. That is my take. It's not time to blame anybody, but where you guys can blame the president is when he does not take a stand. Peter Obi or Atiku or whatever, if they don't take this thing will happen to can happen to anybody. What is happening now can happen to anybody. That is my take, Daddy Freeze.
God bless you. God bless you. I'm trying to bring Bongoli. He was here the other time. Bongoli.
Yes, Daddy Freeze.
All right, let's hear you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, they don't seize my light. They will bring them back now. I did hear you.
Problem. Good day, Nigerians. Daddy Freeze, maybe we'll do this thing later in the evening. Maybe bring Femi and one other Labour Party somebody, so you see my face for it. But what I want to say is that, Daddy Freeze, remember, last week or 2 weeks back when I came on your program, I said that the true cost of a liter of gasoline in Nigeria is actually 800 naira. Remember I said it, right?
You said it. You said, now explain to us why it is 800 naira.
So you have to look at the cost of a barrel of crude oil in the world market. So the barrel of crude oil, Brent crude, is about $80 today. It's $79 and some cents. So crude oil is priced in dollars. It's not priced in naira. It is an international commodity. And there is a certain template that is used such that the amount in crude oil for a price of crude oil is about 65 to 70%, while the remaining 30% goes into the refining costs, the excise duties and taxes, the transportation and the logistics around, and also the marketers have to make their profit. And remember, $1 is doing about 780, 790, 800 in the investors I and E market. And our senior bros here, Berekon, has already explained a little bit of the round tripping that goes on. So that has been stopped. So anybody that wants to source for dollars will go to the I and E market and go and source for it. And that is why now our Naira cards are beginning to work, where people can spend dollar and all of that. So banks are now allowing and all of that. And if you want to send money from abroad, you can send it directly to a bank account in Nigeria and you see it at the I and E investor rate. So back to the conversation, we import petroleum products. And typically, a liter of crude of gasoline should be selling at about $1.10. Or let me even just round it off and say $1. So anytime you see $1, what is the price of $1 in naira? That is the true cost of gasoline per the templates, per the calculation. Sir, there is nobody regulating the price anymore. It is the marketers, I be the oil marketers.
They have PPMC, they have
No. It doesn't exist anymore, sir. It is called the NMDPRA. NMDPRA was a culmination of the DPR, Department of Petroleum Resources, the PPPPRA, that is the Petroleum Price Regulatory Authority.
Yes. Yeah.
And then there's another petroleum PEDF, Petroleum Equalization Fund, PEF. So they merged the three of them together. Now it's now the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Agency Authority. That is the new body. So it encapsulates they do a lot of things. But what I'm saying that now it is the law of demand and supply. And also breaking news, if you think that when the Dangote refinery comes on board and also the refinery that Rabiu is building in Akwa Ibom comes on board, that prices will go down. Not true. Barrel of crude oil is sold in dollars. It's not sold in naira. It's only reduced by 10%. Remove 10% of what we are paying today. That is what we'll be paying, say, a Dangote refinery or a Rabiu refinery. That's Boa refinery in Akwa Ibom comes on board. So it is very painful. Nigerians are so used. You see, Daddy Freeze, this thing is Stockholm syndrome that is happening to us in Nigeria because we are so used to authoritarian government and autocratic government that we think that one person will just say this is the price and everybody just goes by it. We are not used to law of demand and supply. Like, for example, the dollar is going up today. Why is the dollar really going up? People need to realize that this is the summer. People will travel. There's going to be pressure to go and change naira to dollar or dollar to naira. People are also saving money to go back to school. People are going to go back to school in August, September. They are going to need Forex. And that if you rightfully pointed it out, what are we selling in goods and services in Nigeria to earn dollars, to earn Forex? Because the only way you get Forex into a nation is either through foreign direct investments, FDIs, foreign portfolio investment, through grants, through diaspora remittances, and through imports. So the question here is, what are we really selling in goods and services outside of Nigeria to get dollar? 80% of our forex comes from the sale of crude oil. Now that it frees today, we are carrying our ship up and down looking for who to sell crude oil to because Russia is selling cheap crude oil to India. India is one of our biggest buyers of our crude oil, but we don't even have buyers for our crude oil anymore. We're carrying it up and down. So, and we talk about the classification of the economy. It is not easy. Rome was not built in a day. Soberekon said something today, sir. He said that these policies that they are putting in place today, it will take time before it manifests. If today Nigerians stop importing Gary, we import Gary into Nigeria that is free if you don't know.
Gary ke, Bongoli Oje.
Yes, we will send the cassava to China. They will go and mill it there and send it back here. Were we not here in Nigeria when they imported?
You are born.
Were we not here in Nigeria when they seized them for Elegusi soup at the ports? Did you remember that time? That I think was coming from India or from China. We that we import toothpick, we that we import slippers. What don't we import in Nigeria? Do you know was it like in 2019 or 2020, we spent over $200 million on the importation of what's it called, champagne and liquor.
Bongoli.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to cut you short. What can the government do for us?
Okay, right now.
Sorry, let me finish the question so that I can just make it.
Yes, sir.
The common Nigerian, the common man
is suffering.
Most of the things you are explaining now, I understand. As I said before, I understand everything you're saying.
Yes, sir.
But what is the government? What do you advise the government to do to ease all this pressure from for the common man, common people? You understand? Like
yes,
people like me and you, we carry burden for head. When I mean burden, we get family members. We have people that we're supporting, a lot of people. So what do you advise the government, policies, and policies, not like me. I'm not in support. Like I'm not in support of borrowing money to give 5,000 per family or whatever. I forgot the amount they want to give families.
Okay.
I'm not in support of that. What do you advise?
Well,
your advice. You understand?
Well, I'll speak from the side of the government and what they are putting in place. And firstly, I think that 8,000 naira for 12 million people, firstly, it's not coming from borrowed money. It's coming from the 2022 appropriations budget, where there was an 819 billion naira left in there. And the Ashwaju administration from the executive said, you know what, we'll use 500 billion naira to give 8,000 naira each to 12 million households. And I think there's...
Sorry to put you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Bongo Lee, but it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm so sorry about this. I'm sorry.
No, DF, I was just trying to clarify.
No, what does 8,000 naira want to do? I'm not getting it.
Freeze, if you are complaining about the 8,000 naira, then you don't need it.
But for those who need it, what is it going to do in their lives? You are not in their
shoes, Daddy Freeze. You're not in their shoes. How would you know? Not in their shoes.
I don't want us to argue. I want us to have conversation.
Okay.
Let's talk.
I'm with you so on that.
As I said earlier, most of the policies.
Hold on, please.
And also, can the Senate please be a little bit more sympathetic towards the needs of the people? Why are they renovating with 70 billion? Why are they buying armored cars now? You see, these are the things that they can do to cushion so that these people will not feel that they are the ones carrying the whole load. Let me tell you, you get the way people go just feel say they don't cheat them. They're not going to even see the good. You know, I understood the fuel subsidy from the beginning, because where they want pay and from. But the dollar, I didn't fully understand it. But so has explained it to me now. That dollar was a problem. Some people were using it to become billionaires. And now they've killed that business. What they will do is they will go and get the dollars from the back.
No, I want Bongoli to advise.
Let me hear Bongoli before I even talk my own. If you are watching on TikTok, double click my screen. Double click my screen. I'm looking for my number 1 and my number 2 gifter on TikTok. Oh yeah. Where is my money gone? Oh yeah. Bongoli, go ahead.
During the campaign season, if people really listen to me very well, I said that whoever becomes president is going to face very serious challenges. And we are seeing the challenges today. Nigeria was already spending 96% of its revenue on servicing debt alone. How much then is left for infrastructure? So I would say that the government right now, they are doing the best that they can because you have short term, you have mid term, and you have long term. Now, for the short term, they talk about this palliative and 8,000 naira for 6 months, and all of that is 500 billion. Yes, that money may seem small. That money is not even enough to pay for about the 130 million Nigerians that are in multidimensional poverty. However, we cannot keep borrowing in Nigeria. And also, we are saying that we don't want them to increase taxes or expand it. So where will the money come from? Nigeria is a poor nation today. So these are part of the austerity measures that are being put in place. And see where we are as a people. So you said something about the exchange rate. The exchange rate itself has already increased a lot of things because we are an import-dependent nation. We are not a production-dependent nation. That is very hard and very tough.
Sorry to cut you so that I won't forget.
Yes, sir.
What is the plan for this administration against that? Is the question.
Which one? Plan against what, sir?
importation dependent?
Oh, absolutely. There are 5 points. 5 points. The first one is on security. And when you look at the security, you've seen the rejig of the security forces, that is through their leaders, from the police to the army to the navy, and to rejig the system. More money is going to be pumped into that system. I think next week, the vice president is going to come up. We're going to be publishing the security framework agenda for the nation moving forward. You will see that in the police, for example, they're going to have about 40,000 specially trained police officers, special ops. So firstly, it is tackling security. Secondly, it is the infrastructure. There is a national infrastructural plan and there's a national industrial plan in place. And these are things, there's like a template that will be worked on, such that in the north, we look at the textile industry in the north and see how we can improve on that. In the central part of Nigeria, we'll look at the raw materials there. In the southwestern part of Nigeria, we look at glass and the sand there. And in the southeastern part of Nigeria and south part of Nigeria, that will be the industrial hub of the country. The third one is taxation. Now, if you look at taxation, for example, taxation is it's not necessarily increasing taxes, but expanding it. There has been lots and lots of leakages when it comes to our revenue generation through taxes. In fact, Nigeria ranks as one of the lowest countries in the world when it comes to revenue generation from taxes. So the government is saying, you know what?
Let me pause you again. Hold on, let me pause you again. Sorry. How do you want to tax the people when there's hungry in the land?
No, we are not taxing, sir. We are not taxing.
Okay. We are not taxation.
No, I'm saying that we are going to remove multiple taxation.
Okay, remove.
Yes, and I said tax is going to be expanded, not increased.
Okay.
It's going to be expanded and not increased. And I'll just tell you that Nigeria ranks one of the lowest countries in the world when we talk about taxation, when you are talking about revenue generated from taxes. And I'm saying that we're going to take off that multiple taxation. So you just pay one single tax. It depends, maybe VAT.
Let me pause you.
Corporate taxes or whatever
let me pause you. Let me pause you. Somebody wrote here that, somebody wrote here that is that Bongoli is the president of Nigeria. He does not understand why you're saying these policies because you're not the president of Nigeria. So can you explain to them? You understand? I don't know if you understand the question.
I don't see. Me, I know they read comments. No, be today they don't.
We talk like
it wasn't a bad comment.
It's not a bad comment. I don't read bad comment. It's something that will expatiate what you're saying. But what you're saying, you're making points. Like you're like the way you're talking,
like a spokesperson.
Like a spokesperson of this administration. I don't know if you understand. So that's why I brought your attention.
Okay, I'm sorry, apologies.
Maybe if you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen, my number one gifter. Follow my number one gifter. Gideon is my number one gifter. My number two gifter is John Dozier.
Let me just finish my train of thought.
Oh yeah. Where are my money gone? Where are my money gone?
Productive with this conversation.
TikTok people, where are my money
when we
gone?
talk about the taxation, it is removing multiple taxes. We pay a lot of multiple taxes in Nigeria.
If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to send my super chats and super stickers. I'm only going to be reading messages that have super chats.
They are going to merge FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Services. They're going to merge it with customs.
Oh yeah, Jiffy 2021. Thank you so much.
NIMASA. And some other one or two agencies, like agencies that actually generate money, customs, NIMASA, and all these agencies that generate a lot of money, and merge it with FIRS. So these monies are going to go in directly because we don't have money in Nigeria.
Another question. Do any of these bodies, do they generate forex? Do they generate dollars?
Oh, absolutely. I would say, is it customs? Because customs, I think they use the dollar rate for their charges. So I wouldn't say they generate forex. because, like I said, we generate forex from exports. What we export, we generate forex from foreign direct investments when people come in and invest in the nation, from foreign portfolio investments when people come and buy our stocks and our bonds, from diaspora remittances, the $1 or $2 that I send to Nigeria, and also from grants. IMF or World Bank or UNICEF can say, we want to give Nigeria $1 million. So that's how, those are the 5 major ways that forex comes into the country. So we're talking about revenue generation here. So we're going to eliminate multiple taxation. Then we're going to look at policies. Now we are looking at policies. Is these policies that's affecting us today now negatively for now, but moving forward, hopefully things turn around and things will look better, because this punishment and these pains we are going through right now is for tomorrow, betterment of tomorrow. So look at these policies that we've talked about, for example, the subsidy policy, the forex policy, and all of that. Then last but not least, regulations. Our industries, our institutions are going to be very well regulated. These things take time. We need to also acknowledge the fact that there has been serious rot in the Nigerian system since 1960. And somebody's not just going to wake up one morning and clean the whole mess up.
What about
gradual?
Power? What's the plan for the power sector?
Oh, now
thank you very much. What's the plan for the power sector?
I have 4 more minutes. But when it comes to electricity, there is a grave misconception, because electricity is majorly privately run. The only thing that government has or does is the transmission. The generation, we have about 6 companies, 6 gencos, and we have about 11 discos. The discos and the gencos are majorly, like almost 90% to 100, between 90 and 100% privately owned. The only thing that government owns is the transmission key, all those transmission. So a lot of investment has to go into that, because how
by the private sector or from the government?
Yes, by the private sector, because the federal government of Nigeria, since the failed privatization of the PDP, I'm sorry to say this, because they put us in this mess, we have been subsidizing to the tunes of trillions of naira annually for this our electricity, because Nigeria pays very cheap electricity compared to the world. Now, I'm not talking of the quality of the electricity. I'm just saying this is the amount that you are paying per kilowatt hour. Nigeria pays low compared to the rest of the world. And about only 65 to 67% of Nigerians pay their NEPA bill, their electricity bill. So where would these private people get money to invest into the business? Davido's father, Davido's daddy, Tony Edumelu, all of them, they own Otedola, they own these businesses. They are in the Gencos and Disco businesses. They are all there. It's privately run. It's public information. So we need to understand where these issues are coming from. These people, they are saying that, there's what they call MYTO, multi-year tariff order. Every 6 months, they are supposed to review our electricity bills, our electricity charges. In fact, they were supposed to increase it because they will say dollar has increased. The value of dollar has increased. All these things have increased because natural gas is a commodity that is sold in the international price, with international pricing. 1 MMBTU of natural gas today is being sold for $2.50 something cents. That's how much it is today. And with the price of dollar that has gone up in Nigeria by 60 something percent, because we use about 80% is produced with gas, natural gas, the gas-driven turbines, and not the hydro turbines. So gas pricing itself contributes to about 40 to 50% of the generation. So that is going to trickle down. And then the Gencos, the Discos are going to come with their own palaver. So it's that electricity thing, and we can sit down and talk about it from now till next year. And I will explain as to what the issues are, what can be done. The Buhari administration has started this presidential partnership thing with Siemens. That is ongoing to keep on investing in the transmission infrastructure. So we on electricity itself, if they can fix electricity, both the private and public sector working hand in hand seriously, and the Nigerians paying their NEPA bill. Nigerians know they pay NEPA bill. We know they
See,
pay NEPA
Nigerians
bill.
really complain for hunger. They are part of the
And
problem.
and even said about 33% of Nigerians don't even have access to electricity. So investing in Nigeria's electricity business was a bad deal. Was a deal really
Now,
gone
I
bad.
need to
So it's going to
address
take a
some
lot of
people. Sorry,
investments to fix it.
Lynette says 8 years of sorrow. My dear Lynette, I need you to do me a favor. Eh? Any school you have ever attended in your life, go there, collect back your money. They defrauded you. From kindergarten to primary to secondary to where you are. I beg you in God's name, go and collect your money back. You need to understand that if government is not the one producing electricity, how is it the government's fault that you don't have light? Government is just distributing. It is people like Davido's father, people like Otedola Elumelu that are controlling the power sector. How do you blame the government in that? Secondly, we have explained that it is not Tinubu's fault that there is no subsidy for fuel. Buhari handed over a government with not 1 naira allocated towards subsidy budget. Where do you expect Tinubu to subsidize the fuel from? He should sell his mother's car?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We've explained the dollar why they had to do that.
2:30.
Because people were running down the economy, going through the back door to go and get dollars from the banks at the government approved rate and coming to sell it in the black market at the black market rate, making tremendous profit. That has been cut off. It's very harsh, but I don't see how you will blame this government for that. Sometimes in life you need to actually sit down. That's why Soso is here. That's why Bongoli is here. If you have any question, ask questions. State a fact. Don't just come and say, we are going to suffer. 8 years of suffering. You don't sound educated. That's the problem. Come and make a point. I love to hear points. There were points that Soso made that I did not even know before. I said, oh wow, this makes sense. But you see, my problem with you people is you will just come and drop a sentimental quote. Listen, everybody in Nigeria, if you are not poor, you will have poor dependents that are going to depend on you more. Taste Buds is getting her culinary academy ready. They gave her a quote on Monday. By Wednesday, the quote done double. Hand over to you back, but I just had to clear that one.
And later in the night, sir, Femi, I want Femi to be Femi. If you can get Femi, my PDP enemy, I want him.
Elegant Bell says, why did they not steady the dollar at the government approved rate?
So, God bless you, sir.
God bless you. Elegant Bell has asked a question. So let me answer it, then you can now throw. Because the government approved rate was unnatural. It was subsidized. You cannot force the black market to sell at government rate. The only thing the government can do is join the black market and sell at the black market rate. You can't tell somebody me that I have my water. You cannot tell me what I will sell, the price I will sell the water. So it is impossible, and it's not even the dollar is not worth 400 naira or 400 and something naira. The dollar is actually worth about 700 naira. So you can't force it. Now, if you bring it down and force everybody to sell that, you will now see that some people are still going to sell at that. Now it is competitive. At the bank, at the black market, they are all selling the same rate. It's hard. You see, this is what you call growing pains. If this nation is going to grow, if it's going to thrive, we are going to go through pains like this. It's just that it's very uncomfortable. It is very uncomfortable. Listen to this one that doesn't have sense. He says, I don't understand why you brought somebody abroad to address the conversation. You that you are living in Nigeria, how much sense do you have? The person living abroad is dropping facts. You that you are in Nigeria, you are complaining, you are moaning, you are groaning. Before today, did you know that it was not the government that was supplying electricity? When are you going to out? You are not a now. Then they put feeding bottle for your mouth. You will talk like small pikin. Contribute to the conversation with facts. Come here and give us statistics. Give us facts. You are all dropping emotion. The nation is hard, though. Is anybody arguing with you? Did anybody here say the nation is not hard? Over to you, so. I just needed to address that.
That is freeze. As I said, the policies Tinubu started with, I liked it, and I was really impressed by his policies. But my own advice for him, if according to what they said, that Nigeria is broke, do you know that the money by some set of individuals in this country, if they arrest them without fear or favor, if they hold them by the throat,
100%, so
Nigeria,
100%. I'm with you on that.
Be richer than. Do you know that people took loans? So I want to ask a question. What is the beneficial loan, billions of dollars, the former Minister of Transportation took to do railway? How does that add to the country? They took loan, billions from China that were yet to pay back. According to something I saw in the news, I don't know how true it is. If they say Chinese people have police station now in Nigeria, I don't know how it is, whether it's true, but I saw it in the news. How did this money add to us as Nigeria? That one is one. We did railway to Niger Republic, or is it Chad or something? How does that help Nigeria? That needs to be investigated. There are lots of thieves. If they can go back from democracy days, 1999 till date, Nigeria will be back on the feet. Dollar will go back to 15 naira to $1. People now hold our money, not and on top of our money. And we are still worshiping this our money. How can a minister come and tell us after spending billions that we have aeroplane, our own airline, and he openly scammed us, brought Ethiopia Airline, and that guy is still working freely?
More.
How?
Why? How?
You can't scam the whole country, carry paint another person plane. Can't tell us, say, Nigeria Airline, few days to leave power. That man is still working free. There's a lot of things. It's not about importation, exportation, one or the other. I know, but corruption needs to be crushed. People need to answer for their crime. People need to answer questions. And most of these monies are not abroad. Most of those monies are still in Nigeria. How long should we be continuing? How long will we fear to talk or to act?
Because somebody
they will catch person for corruption. Yes, they will catch somebody for corruption 2 days later. The person, the only person that I've seen that they arrested, although is allegedly, you understand, is not yet confirmed guilty. Bakari. They arrested him and jailed him, and he has been in jail. He has been in prison. We don't know if it was set up because Nigeria people only go prison for when somebody invests for you. We don't know if that was the setup or if he's guilty or not. I don't know. But he's the only person answering. Former EFCC chairman, Magu, according to them, they caught him. He's free. Billions and billions and billions
You see,
of dollars and naira.
so you have raised extremely valid points. And I said this earlier on. Inside this, should they be renovating Senate for 70 billion? Inside this, should they be buying new cars? The first thing that they should do is cut the allowances of our leaders first. Tinubu himself has said it. He does not need Nigeria's money. Or was it the wife that said it? So he should cut his own salary.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Have you been to the National Assembly before?
Not in a while. 10 years ago.
That place is like paradise. You see, most politicians are heartless. At this time, they are not supposed to do that.
100%. Because even if it is necessary, it sends a bad message to the poor man on the street. Because the poor man cannot operate his vulcanizer machine because na petrol that machine still they use. So he no fit operating vulcanizer machine, but one senator fit fill tank for 3 or 4 Prado plus escorts.
To me, that is not necessary. Not at this time.
Not at this time. You see, if everybody has the sense that, we are suffering, but we are all suffering together, it's okay. But if we are feeling like only the masses are suffering, but the elites are not suffering with us, then it gives the masses a disconnect. The masses now feel like the government does not have their back.
Daddy Freeze.
Yes.
The problem of Nigeria is not just about APC, Labour Party, or PDP, or SDP. The problem of Nigeria is Nigerians. This 70 billion that you're saying, Labour Party members know the inside. They won't collect their share. PDP members know the inside. They won't collect their share.
Nigeria
don't come out. Nigerians, we are the problem of ourselves. Why one Labour Party member, according to some of them, they claim said, no come out? Because they know we're against corruption. Our principle is campaigning on principles, cutting down costs. Why one Labour Party member no come back and talk out? We are our own problem. It's not about party. It's not about APC. It's not about PDP. It's not about, it is Nigerians. And Nigerians be the problem. So that's why I'm not in support of. You see, Tinubu, if Tinubu is there, he's doing well, I will support him. Anybody that is there, I will support. My own is we need a better Nigeria.
You cannot even argue that. We need a better Nigeria now, urgently.
I don't travel. You go travel, you go spend more money. And by the time you pay hotel the next day, your mind go to cut.
Now, there's something I wanted to address. John raised a point. Sorry, John raised a point. John said, at Soberekon, if corruption needs to be crushed, why crush subsidy rather than crush the corruption in subsidies? Let me explain that to you. If there is no allocation for subsidy, there is zero subsidy. If the last government left some money for subsidy, you can now start addressing the corruption in subsidy. But when there is no money for subsidy, you can't even subsidize, let alone look for the corruption inside. 0 naira.
No, that is freeze. No.
Okay.
I will not support you on that. Let me say this. Let me support what John said. If you guys claim there is corruption in subsidy, we are not continuing that. Why not pursue the people that you've been paying that subsidy to that are corrupt?
The problem that you need to... Did you look at the budget? Did you look at that one? Because there is no subsidy.
I'm not against... Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I am not against the moving of the subsidy. I'm talking of the previous subsidy that everybody claims is corrupt. I remember during Jonathan's government, they arrested the Nova and some petroleum marketers there because they collected excess money for
subsidy.
Yes, I think 40 billion, blah, blah, blah. Jonathan pursued a lot of them and he got them arrested. You understand? Now, since then, I've not heard anybody that has been arrested for subsidy fraud. You know that these guys will take ship out and bring ship with the same product and say they've delivered and collect money. Nigeria needs proper management. There are a lot of loopholes. Okay. I did one business 3 years ago with some Chinese people to supply wheat. Can you hear me?
Clearly.
To supply wheat in Sokoto. Now, I don't have a wheat farm because I was trying to investigate business because the business is a bit confusing because of weather and all that. It's a bit tricky. So I got somebody, I had to get tons of wheat from the guy and I supplied to the Chinese people. I made little money. When I say little money, do you know that these Chinese guys, they took this wheat all the way to China. Went to repackage it and brought it in packs and Nigerians are buying times 10 of what they got it.
Wow.
That if you understand what I'm saying?
Clearly.
Times 10 of what they got it from. Now, these businesses are supposed to, those machines, they can actually, or Nigerians can own that business. But our people will not give you license.
Now that's systemic corruption.
Yes. Do you know? Look at this, Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze, look up.
Hey, the general.
Do you know what it took us? Do you know what it took us to do this? You know the challenges. Now, other foreign companies, I'm saying this for the first time, fought us. Went to get some agencies. I'm not supposed to say they go get the agencies to fight us. They shut down our factory. We're supposed to have opened things. But some companies that feel that Nigerians are not supposed to own this kind of business in that kind of capacity that they run in. Do you know how much Nigerians spend for liquor? Importation of liquor. Do you know billions upon billions NSC makes in this country? What is different between the NSC and what we can make here? But these guys are so rich that they will not allow our people to produce they'll buy our own people against us. That's corruption.
100%. 100%. Anyway,
Now,
so
to
God
sell,
bless you. In what are your parting thoughts? As we round off, what are your parting thoughts?
my parting thought is,
Network is so bad.
I will commend him. Yes, the president of Nigeria should go after the people making life difficult for the common people, common man. There are some set of Nigeria. I understand what Bongoli is saying, Bongoli, but there are people in this country that wake up that wants to make poor man to suffer. I will go wake up for money, fuel will be this thing. Don't be 700 naira. So the government should go after the people making life. People should answer. There is nobody in Nigeria that cannot answer to the government. No matter how independent you are still under the jurisdiction of the court of law of Nigeria. There are people that is making life difficult for Nigerians. Tinubu, President Tinubu, go after them and said they are going to make government look bad. They are going to make your government look bad. People are trying to make your government look bad.
Anyway, thank you so much. The network is really, really bad, and it keeps cutting him off. I particularly enjoyed Soso today. Soso is more brilliant than I've always known him to be. Very smart, but with the way he dissected this, I'm truly impressed, and I'm sure you all are impressed. Time to harass them a little bit on TikTok as we officially go. Now, guys, remember, whatever we do, let's be careful not to ignite the polity in Nigeria. Maybe Peter Obi would have done better in the regards that he might have arrested all the people like Soso recommended that are doing Nigeria dirty. Maybe. But with regards to the dollar and power and the fuel subsidy, I don't think even an angel could have done better, because these are pressing issues that do not have the funds required for us to address. We're going to come back with some gossip. Dear Nigerians, we're all feeling the pain. Let's just work let's just work hard and try to see how we can make Nigeria better for us all. Right now, nobody in the Senate, no politician should have a salary increase. Use your old car. Drive your old car to work. You don't need a car now. People cannot afford to pay bus fare. If you are listen to me. You are watching me on TikTok, double click the screen. If you are a Nigerian politician, you don't need a new car. Drive your old car, reboard the engine. If the engine is bad, buy a new engine. If the shock absorber is bad, call Jelili the mechanic. Let him fix your shock absorber for you. You don't need new cars. Nobody in government, maybe the president and the vice president, everybody else, go and buy your, like we are buying our cars, please buy your own. If you cannot buy a car, use Uber. To all politicians, hire one Uber for yourself, hire one Uber for your security. If you don't like Uber, buy your own cars. Government does not buy me car. I buy my own car. You too, politician, go and buy your own car. If you don't like the government house, the way they gave it to you, use your money and refurbish it. If you don't like it, buy ordinary paint and paint the wall. Manage it. There are people who are working because they cannot pay 50 naira, 100 naira bus increase. And you are demanding for brand new cars. It is not fair. You want to repair the Senate? Not now. Not now. I'm sorry, maybe I'm wrong. If you're watching on TikTok, double click my screen. Oh. I'm looking for my number one gifter. Big shout out to John Dozier. He's my number one gifter. And my number two gifter is still clicking on my number one gifter. My number two gifter, where are you? My hand is shaking. But I've never suffered like this before. Gideon is now my number two gifter. Double click my screen. Double click my screen. Sorry, guys. I want to log into Instagram to see what people are saying because I can't read chats anymore. At this point, every leader needs to be selfless. No leader deserves a new car or a new house. Live in your old house. You'll be all right. We are living in our houses. We never buy. You will not buy. You'll be okay. Let us all carry the burden of this subsidy removal together. Our leaders should fly economy class so they can sit down with the masses in economy class and explain to them. But our leaders will be flying private jets. Anywhere government is sending our leaders to, they should buy economy. This is how you save money. Buy them economy class tickets. When they know they are going to sit down with the masses in the economy class, they will behave well. Buy them Virgin, British Airways, economy. So that they know they are going to meet the masses there. Masses, when you meet your leaders inside that economy class, press their neck. I don't mean physically. I mean press their neck with plenty questions. Ask them, why is Nigeria not good? Hold them up. Respectfully. But very importantly, we cannot continue funding the lavish lifestyle of a ruling class when the common man cannot eat. These leaders all have cars at home. As it's amazing, we're buying brand new car for someone that already has car. There's someone, you are not even thinking of how to, that money they want to use to repair Senate building that is not spoiled. Why can't they use it to subsidize transportation? There was a time during Babangida's regime when if you had a red number plate or a green number plate, then you were commercial. So there was commercial number plate and there was a regular number plate. If you had a commercial number plate, the fuel you were buying was cheaper than if you had a regular number plate. All those little incentives are what we need to do so that the poor people can be shielded from this tremendous inflation. Somebody say, get days when you go waka. Poor man, they waka. Politician will be his houseboy. Because the politician is your houseboy, you don't know. He's serving you. They blow past inside in jeep with siren. Wow. That is what's annoying. If you and the politician are queuing together in the fuel station, it will not pay you that much. People, I'm reading your comments. I'm reading the comments on this phone because this one, I don't know what happened. The comments are hanging. Will you not feel better when you see your politicians going through the exact same thing you are going through instead of being immune to it? Your politicians have been vaccinated, so they are immune to this problem. As you see me, I get my Toyota Camry, where they use Oroku. I love you guys. Let's be strong. This government has its own faults, but I think the fuel subsidy removal was a great idea. And as Soso explained, the dollar consolidation was also a great idea. However, Let the masses be considered. And I'm sure, I'm hoping President Tinubu will get to watch this video. Let the masses be considered. Let their plight be considered. Nigeria is very tough right now. God bless us all.